What's up, everybody, and welcome into today's video. We are talking about construction for real estate investors, one of the most important aspects of real estate investing, but in my opinion, also one of the most challenging aspects for real estate investors. We are talking about managing contractors, managing repairs, estimating repairs, how to pay for work, right? This is all very important stuff, how to pay our contractors. And we run and manage a very large Facebook group for real estate investors. So a lot of people come to us. We're the administrators of the group. And the number one complaint we have seen over the years is I got scammed by this particular contractor, right? This is probably the most detrimental and dangerous aspect to for real estate investors to their business, the most dangerous for your business. I believe a bad contractor is more dangerous than a bad tenant. Contractors can put liens on your properties and mechanics liens. This is all very real, and we need to take precautions, and we got to tread lightly, but we also got to work with contractors to make this business work. If we're going to be successful, this is a mountain we got to climb and we got to tackle this. So we want to help prepare you in your real estate investing business so you can be successful managing construction and dealing with the construction for your property. So scalability, this is definitely the hardest thing to scale. And we have seen this time and time again when it comes to large hedge funds who are ramping up their buying efforts. Many times over the years, we keep track of the hedge funds that are buying because they're great buyers. I mean, we wholesale properties to hedge funds all the time. Whenever they're ramping up their their buying activity, you want to position yourself as a supplier to them. You can wholesale properties to hedge funds and make really great profits. They close. They have all this money, but the number one thing that halts their buying efforts and actually puts them out of business, I've seen hedge funds completely go belly up. It is the rehab. It is the construction that is really the hardest thing for them. So makes it the hardest thing to scale. It's hard to scale for a fund and it's hard to scale for a big company. And it's actually hard to scale for us as mom and pop investors as well. I'm going to suggest if you're just getting started, unless you've done a lot of construction, working with one general contractor who's going to handle the entire project is going to serve you better than working with a number of different subcontractors and you kind of being the boss and managing these subcontractors. If you're still relatively new, yes, you will likely pay more working with one general contractor who's going to manage the entire job for you, but it ain't about saving money at this point. I mean, we're talking about, saving a couple dollars here and there. If you're new, it is going to be a train wreck trying to manage subcontractors on your own and you don't know what you're doing and paying people. It could really turn into a world of hurt for you. So one rule of thumb is work with one GC instead of trying to be the GC and find somebody to do the plumbing, somebody to do the electric, find a roofer, find this. No, that is what a general contractor is good for. They got a team, they know people. It's easier to work with one person who's going to manage that job for you rather than subbing it all out yourself. Relationship capital has never been more important. What does that mean? The best place to find contractors is by referral. That's the name of this game. And a lot of the best contractors and a lot of the most proficient and efficient real estate investors, they don't want to share their best GCs. That's pretty common. And I get it because, if we have a GC that's kicking butt for us and is always on time and, we don't want to, refer them out to everybody else because that potentially could add workload to them. And then maybe they start to slip up on our jobs. So the best contractors come by referral But you also have to be aware that a lot of investors don't want to share their best contractors. So a good way to go about this is, get active in Facebook communities, Facebook groups geared around real estate, and just keep asking, keep finding referrals. And if you ask enough, you will find good GCs, and you're going to want to go look at their work, not just look at pictures. There's a lot of little scammy things that happen with pictures, right? I mean, who knows what they're going to show you? Who knows if it's their work or not? If you could build some relationships in the real estate investing community and have the opportunity to go look at other real estate investors' houses and go look at the work that this particular GC is doing for another real estate investor, meet them on the job, right? Meet them on the job. That's going to be your best way to meet contractors, is through referral, and actually verify their work. You got to get in the car and go drive over and look at this stuff. You cannot rely on pictures. Paperwork matters. So I would not want to do business with any contractor that didn't require their own paperwork to be signed. I completely expect a solid contractor to have their own paperwork in place. They want to protect themselves, right? They're a business just like you're a business. You're going to have your own paperwork that you need to get signed as well, right? Lien waivers and things like that. This is a business arrangement. The days of, kind of doing business with a handshake with a contractor and whatnot, never do that. You got to have firm paperwork. And I trust a contractor more when they have their own contracts and when they want to protect themselves. And then you're going to have your own contracts as well. And I would definitely consider getting an attorney involved. If you're going to do this and be serious about this business, people who coach with us, you have access to all of our paperwork that's been prepared by attorneys and whatnot that we've been using for years. You're going to want to have specifically, just basic contracts of service contracts. And you're going to want to have lien waivers, meaning that after a contractor's been paid, there's no coming back and putting a lien on your property. They waive their right to put liens on your property. It's aggressive, but it's necessary. And if you're going to build a working relationship, let me go back to my previous slide. Relationship matters. Let me just share this real quick. It's very important. You want to treat your GC as a team member. A lot of newbie investors, they start their real estate business and they kind of look at their contractor relationship as like me versus you. Let's beat each other up on the price. And it starts off on the wrong foot. You're going to want to find and attract contractors that you treat like a member of the team, like a partner, because that's exactly what they are. You want to be profitable as a business. You want them to be profitable. It's not about this nickel and dime type of relationship where we're going to beat each other up on prices and things like that. You got to treat them like family. We send Christmas cards to our best contractors here. We're sending, gift cards and things like that. This is a team. This is a family. So it's not a me versus you type of thing. And, anyone who's a legitimate business should have no issues getting paperwork together, as I did kind of mention. But if you want access to all of our paperwork, if you want access to all of our materials list, set up a free call, learn about our coaching. There's no obligation to learn about what it is and how we work. We're on the phone multiple times a week with people we coach with. It's a very successful program, a very high success rate. And you can set up a call at creamlaunch.com. Now, pay now or pay later. What does that mean? So if you're approaching your contractor relationships as a, nickel and dime, and I'm going to try to cut corners and I'm going to be cheap, it's going to come back and bite you in the butt. And this is going to show up if you're trying to resell the property and your buyer has the property inspected. They're going to hit you with a list of things that need to be fixed before they close. So that's an example of like, pay up front to do a good job now, or you're going to end up paying for it later. And the same thing goes with a tenant. If you try to cut corners on a rental property, the tenant's just going to be blowing up your phone on things that should have been fixed in the beginning, but you tried to cut corners and be cheap. Don't be cheap. Do a good job. We say don't try to put lipstick on a pig here, right? That is a very amateur move. It's going to come back and bite you. It's going to be very difficult to be successful long term. Don't go cheap. Just buy better deals, right? It's expensive to rehab these homes and to rehab them correctly. Make sure you convey that to sellers when you're buying properties. So you basically can say, hey, it's going to cost me a lot. Factor in a high rehab number when you're buying the property so you don't have to try to force this thing through and go cheap with your contractor. It's going to come back to bite you. Do a good job up front. Pay now or pay later. Pay in draws or at the end is ideal. Now, a lot of our contractors, we pay when the job is done. And some of our contractors, if it's a fix and flip, we don't pay them until the house actually sells. Now, you're not going to have that type of relationship until you've done a lot of business with this particular contractor when you're first starting out. But it is not uncommon to pay in draws. And you can easily negotiate this with your contractor because you can say, based on the financing that I'm using, I don't get access to the rehab money. My rehab money from my lender comes in draws. Therefore, I need to pay you in draws. And that's real. And a lot of the lenders out there, go to creamfunding.com if you're interested in learning about different lending programs we can help refer to you. But a lot of the lenders out there and the hard money lenders and institutional lenders, they're going to pay you in draws. They're going to pay their rehab in draws. This is very common. So make sure you relay that information to your contractor. They should have no issue getting paid in draws, meaning after phase one, after the demo is done, okay, you're going to pay for it then, right? You kind of pay as you go. Instead of the worst thing you can do is just cut a big check to a contractor right up front, and then maybe you'll never see them again. That's how you can really get burned in this business. Pay in draws, or ideally, if you can make it happen, pay when the job is completely done. Pull permits. This is another thing of like, do it the right way. Don't try to cut corners and, it's just going to set you back. If you get on the city's radar and they see you doing a bunch of rehabs out there but not pulling permits, they're going to make you're going to get on their radar. They're going to make your world kind of a living hell. And what it's going to be is, yeah, you're going to have to pay to pull the permits and whatnot, but it's going to take time. This can hold up a sale. Remember, you make your money when you buy in this business because you're buying at good discounts, but you don't get paid until you sell. And if you're dealing with a battle with the city because you didn't pull permits, this can delay a sale by several weeks. Now you're racking up interest. It's costing you more money. Do it the right way with the right people up front. I'm telling you, don't try to cut corners. Make sure you're pulling permits on your job. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Our channel's been steadily growing, and it's the best part about my day every day when I log in and I see new subscribers, and it is really gratifying to me to be able to add value to you. Also, ask any questions you may have in the comments. We do reply to every single comment. And make sure you hit the bell for notifications. We are uploading new videos daily. We go live every Wednesday, so if you want to hop on live with us at 11 o'clock Eastern, feel free to do so, and we can answer your questions in real time. Once again, we will see you all on the next video, and I appreciate you all very much.